Welcome into Week 5. The Texans are playing in Jacksonville, looking for their first win. And, people already enjoying the pool in Jacksonville. A gorgeous day out in Florida. And the Texans hope it's a gorgeous win for them. They're looking for their first win, and they've won 8 straight against Jacksonville. So welcome in. We're going to get to your fan questions. We're going to preview today's matchup. A few lineup changes as well. Texans Unlimited Live, presented by Verizon, starts now.
Welcome to our coverage of Houston Texans football.
Need some juice, need some energy, and just do your job. Let's go, Texans! Let's go!
Welcome into Texans Unlimited Live, presented by Verizon. I'm DP Sidhu, along with my good friend Cecil Shorts, joining me once again. He's very familiar with TIAA Bank Field. Cecil, the pool was there when you were playing for the Jags, wasn't it?
The pool was there. I think the last 2 years I was there, and that was kind of the main thing about the stadium.
Main attraction. 2011 to 2014.
Yep.
Then Cecil played for the Texans in 2015. I remember you threw a touchdown against us before you joined the Texans.
Yeah, I think it might have been Thursday night or something like that. It was fun. Good memories.
I remember that. But, it's been a winning streak for the Texans overall throughout these past few years. They haven't gotten beat by the Jags since 2017, so they hope to keep this streak alive. And we got a lot to get into today. Texans looking for their first win against Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence in his second season. Davis Mills in his second season. And the Jags are atop the AFC South with a 2-2 record. What have you thought about these Jags so far this year?
You know what? They have some momentum going. They won before they played the Eagles. They were 2-1 with 2 good victories over the Chargers, and I can't remember who they beat again.
Well, the Colts.
The Colts, that's right. 24-0 against the Colts, and they beat the Chargers, put like 30 points on the Chargers. Then they were up 14-0 last week against the Red Hot Eagles. And then the Eagles kind of bullied them the next 3 quarters, but they're a team that's not the same Jacksonville in previous years. They're motivated. Doug Peterson got them boys playing pretty high right now, so it's going to be exciting Jacksonville team, so I hope Houston's ready to go.
Houston's ready to go, and so let's get into some of your quick hits presented by BMW. One guy that's ready to go, Dameon Pierce. His trajectory has gone up every single week. He's coming off his best game yet. Finally got over 100 yards rushing and a touchdown. Offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton was asked what he thinks Pierce's best qualities are.
Just really, the combination of power and speed. As you see, how often do you see 70? How long was that run? I'm not sure. 75-yard touchdown runs in the National Football League. A lot of times, our backs or backs in general break out into the open field, and lo and behold, you have defensive backs that chase them down and have a better angle of pursuit. And now it's just a long gain and not a long touchdown. So I think we saw, really good acceleration. We've seen the power throughout, our games up until this point. And he's an explosive playmaker.
Trevor Lawrence is looking to bounce back after an Eagles game where he had 4 fumbles and 1 interception. But still, he's thrown 8 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions through the season. The Texans faced him last year as a rookie. Lovie Smith said he's got all the intangibles, and now he's got the playing experience to back it up.
I thought he was an excellent quarterback last year. Can make all the throws. As we're talking about Christian Harris, plays matter, experience matters, situations matter of you being in those, and he's had a lot more game experience since we played them last. But mobile, big guy, strong arm, top pick in the draft. If you look at their football team, they have the top, last 2 years, has the top pick in the draft. And both of those guys are difference makers, is from what I see. And every rep you get, every game you play, you're going to get better.
And like Lovie mentioned, the Texans will face a number 1 overall pick on the defense as well. Trayvon Walker will be facing this Texans offense. Davis Mills talked about what he thinks are the most impressive parts of this Jags defense.
I think starting off just their rushers, pass rushers. They got a lot of guys who change around in their defensive front and want to attack the quarterback, and we got to be ready to defend against that. And then their secondary, with the new defense coordinator, they've started a little bit of a different scheme than what they ran last year, so those guys are on the same page. They've obviously created a lot of turnovers, so we got to protect the football, and then really just go out and do our jobs and execute at a high level.
All right, 2 number 1 overall picks and back-to-back seasons for the Jags, but they look to put things together this year under Doug Peterson, brand new head coach for the Jags. But that's impressive. 2 number 1 overall picks on offense and defense.
Is that impressive?
Back-to-back years.
Is that impressive or unimpressive? I don't know.
Depends on how you look at it. I guess if you're the team facing the number 1 overall picks, not so much. But if you're the team drafting them, not so much until actually you get to see them on the field, which they've done. I mean, they've put together quite a bit of a roster this offseason. Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you've been following wide receivers, but he got some money.
He got a lot of money.
He got a lot of money.
He's living up to it thus far. Like he's getting, especially fantasy-wise, he's getting a lot. He's getting a lot of yards and doing well. But Trevor, man, Doug Peterson is a player's coach. So him doing what he did in Philly, winning the championship, getting those troops together and then coming to Jacksonville, and they believe in him. And they're starting to trust what he says is showing on the field.
Yeah, all right, well, let's see who will be on the field, who will not be on the field. Let's start with some inactives for you. They're the Texans inactives. Most of those guys were scratched before the game even started. The big one to note there, Jonathan Grenard, he did not travel with the team, had an ankle injury that kept him out of practice. Blake Cashman still recovering from the concussion he suffered last week. And then you've got Thomas Booker and Damone Harris. Those are your healthy scratches for the Houston Texans. Let's take a look at the Jags inactives. Not a lot of surprises there. They had a few guys that were not practicing, like Zay Jones, their wide receiver, and a few others, but their starters mostly are playing today. So a pretty healthy Jaguars team. All right, let's get into some of your fan questions. But first, a live look at your field there at TIAA Bank Field. Philip Dorsett, he will be playing today.
Nice.
Been active for the past 2 games. What do you want to see from Dorsett? I know that they've been trying to get him involved in the mix. He gets a catch here and there, but overall, Cecil, it's been a little bit of slow going for the wide receivers group.
Yeah, I want to see him getting more involved some type of way, with the rest taking shots down the field with them, giving them a chance once or twice down the sideline, in the slot even, maybe rolling out to him and giving him a chance, or maybe put him in motion. When you have speed like that, I want to see him just get the ball in motion on a jet sweep or maybe a screen or something, get him some confidence going, and I want to see that speed in action.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely has got that speed. Hopefully he can bring it out there today as we see them warming up. Let's get into some of your fan questions. We've got people watching from everywhere. Our friend Christian in Germany, Tommy in Southwest Houston, and Javari in Miami. And Logan wants to know, will Tyler Johnson make his debut today? Actually, Tyler Johnson played last week, so he will make his, I guess, second debut for the Texans, and that's another wide receiver that we'd like to see a little bit more of. He doesn't really do a lot on special teams, but it's been tough going for them, trying to get active and on the field. Tyler Johnson obviously signed from the Bucks before the start of the season. What have you thought about what you've seen out of him? It's kind of hard to gauge.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge, especially the guys that we have now. You want to see them get more involved. You want to see Cooks get more involved. You want to see Nico get more involved. So will we see Tyler today make his debut? We'll see what happens, but just want to see the wide receiver group and all, the passing game overall, just make completions and be more efficient.
It looked like they got it going last week with the deep pass with Nico Collins, so that was fun to see. We're actually going to hear from Nico a little bit later in the show. We're going to go one-on-one with him. Christian says, what do you think about Mario Addison's addition? And I think that's got to be a huge boost for this defense. That's going to be without John Grenard. But you see him and Jerry Hughes. He's a veteran up front. How important is that when you're facing a guy like Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, it's hugely important. The more pressure you can get on a guy like Trevor, who had 4 fumbles, I want to say last week, 5 turnovers overall. The more veteran presence that you have that understands what he has to do, how to get to the quarterback, how to communicate with the other D linemen is huge. So I'm excited to see him.
All right, Logan's got a question that I think a lot of fantasy owners want to know, as well as Texans fans. How many yards do you think Dameon Pierce will have today? Well, let's see. He's been going up every single week. Last week, 131. So does he crack that number again, Cecil? What do you think?
You know what? I think he gets over 100 today, but I'm not going to say he cracks 131.
Ooh, okay.
Lower hundreds.
Lower
105, 106-ish, something like that. Something like that.
The Jags defense is actually 8th against the run, so
really good.
They're pretty good against the run this year. But Dameon Pierce with that spin move
is
really nice to watch. Yeah, and there he is with Troy Hairston. Those 2 rookies. What a nice all-rookie backfield. You got Hairston lead blocking for you. Was a linebacker, turned to a fullback, and now the 2 of them doing some nice things around the field together. All right, Jackie says, what do you expect from O.J. Howard today? Jackie, I want to say on one of the shows, I almost picked O.J. Howard as my sleeper pick because we saw him catch 2 touchdowns in the first week. He hasn't really caught a touchdown since, but there's been a lot of movement in the tight end group.
Yeah.
But now he's got a few weeks under his belt, so
Yeah.
he's familiar with this offense. What do you like out of O.J. Howard?
I think he's going to have a good day today. I think the trajectory of him with the Texans is going to looks really good in my opinion. It's just he's coming in the first week, 2 touchdowns, and after that, getting more involved with the offense, understanding the offense. So I expect him to have a big role today and moving forward.
Yeah, no Brevin Jordan, and the Texans released Pharaoh Brown this week as well. They moved Jordan Akins up and Mason Schreck from the practice field, which is something they did last week as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Jordan Akins because now he's been elevated 3 times from the practice squad, which is the max. So
And he played well last week.
he played well. He's caught a touchdown. Do you sign him to the active roster? The Texans will have some decisions to make here coming into the bye. Javari wants to know how many snaps do you think Derek Stingley will have today? Well, Javari, I would guess 100%. If all goes well, like he's been having.
I would hope so.
I would hope so.
I hope he's not limited out there, but he's out there because we need him for sure. He's just fun to watch out there. He's
Yeah.
competitive. He competes. Even when he did go down with the elbow last, I think it was the elbow if I'm not mistaken, with the arm last week, he hopped back in again and tried to play, then stepped out and hopped back in again. That's the type of guy you want on your defense, on your team. Somebody's going to give it your all and that loves to play. And we see him on the screen right now with an elbow brace on. So I'm excited.
Rocking the elbow brace. Lovie Smith said he'll be out there, and right behind him, a guy that really worked with him a lot in camp, Brandon Cooks, finally gets his first touchdown last week. He also had a nice little block there, paved the way for Dameon Pierce, a 75-yard touchdown run. How much have you enjoyed seeing Cook sort of grow in this offense and lead these younger wide receivers?
He's a vet, man. I just love seeing a guy that understands how to play the game, understands how to lead. He's not selfish. Any receiver wants the ball every single play, right? That's just our mindset. But he doesn't come off in a selfish way. He understands that, hey, we're growing as a team. We're on a mission. He understands that he's a win-first guy. And to see that at a receiver position is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you just waiting for him every single week to have sort of a breakout game.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
And
It's
I feel
coming.
like his trajectory hopefully goes up and up as well because being able to see him get into the end zone, and he had a really nice catch last week that got called back because of a penalty. Otherwise, he would have probably racked up a lot more yards. But you see next to him, Jalen Petrie, another rookie that's done really nice things. Tremon Smith, who had a kick return for a touchdown last year at Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, you're right. At
Right?
Jacksonville, yeah.
Maybe he could repeat that today, too.
That'd
I mean,
be
I'd like a
fun.
little
That'd be
repeat
awesome.
performance of our December game there last year. And there you see the secondary warming up. Steven Nelson and Derek Stingley Jr. Well, there's Derek Stingley Jr. there. What are those called? Up and
What
downs?
they're doing, it look like head, shoulders, knees, and toes. That's what it looks like.
A little bit of dynamic stretching. Feel
There it
free to
is,
stretch if
dynamic.
you're at home watching this pregame show as well. Desmond King, secondary, is getting all warmed up and doing some nice things on special teams. Jonathan Owens, I'm just literally calling out everybody that you see warming up there. And these guys are ready for a win.
They're
I mean,
excited.
it seems like this defense, Lovie called them out last week. He said defensively, probably, one of the worst performances they've had this year. And they're looking to bounce back as well. It would also help not getting in a 21-0 hole,
Yes.
which is something the offense also talked about as well. So Texans hoping to start fast and even faster this week. And that's really what they're going to have to do against this Jags team.
They're going to have to score. They're going to have to start fast. And I think last week we started with an interception, and then they kind of converted from there. It got to be team ball. It has to be offense helping the defense helping the offense, and then special teams along as well. So if you can get some points going, if you can get some stops, create some turnovers, hopefully that Trevor Lawrence turnover machine keeps coming this week. We can create some more turnovers on defense. It'll be good.
Be nice to see some big plays on offense. One guy that had a really big plays, plural, last week. Nico Collins, our very own Drew Doherty, had a chance to sit down with a second-year wide receiver a little bit earlier in the week.
Nico Collins, wide receiver for the Houston Texans, joins us now. Great to be with you, Nico.
Thanks
Coming
for
off
having me.
a pretty strong, solid individual performance last week.
Yes, sir.
Personal growth. How much are you seeing out of yourself, maybe this time versus a year ago?
Yeah, a lot, man. I feel like last year was like a learning curve for me. Getting adjusted to the NFL, the game speed, what to expect. And I feel like this year, you kind of know what to expect. Got that 1 year under your belt. Great guys in the receiver room. That's going to, I've been around the game for a minute. It's going to help you along the way. So I feel like, just this year has been, a great experience from last year. A great opportunity, man, and just continue to get better.
You know, I was joking with you earlier. Hey, you look taller, and you do kind of look taller, and we know all about your frame and everything. But on your catch last week, 58 yards. You also were going 20-plus miles per hour. Is your speed a little bit underrated, perhaps? Because it's not always brought up about you, but you were moving, man.
Yeah, it's not. But I got a little speed with me. Yeah, I feel like the fastest I ran, I think in the off season it was like 21.7. It was up there. Yeah, that was. I'm trying to get 22 or 23 like Cook.
Okay, how are you working on that in the off season or in season as well?
Just working. Whatever Mike got dialed up for us. Just continuing that, working on my calf muscles. quads, legs, all that.
Keeping it going. The speed was definitely a weapon the other day. Okay, you, Hairston, Cooks, O.J. Howard, you all made tremendous, terrific blocks on the 75-yard run by Pierce. How important is that aspect of your game, of everyone's game?
That's big time. I feel like if you can block, as a receiver, man, I open up the run game a lot. Receivers that go down, they got the safeties, they got the DNs, for the running back, to get started. And that play was a great play, man. It started with me. I had to get started. I had to get the DB and get him sealed. And the rest of the offensive lineman, man, we got blocked up right, and DP just did the rest. The rest was on him.
Good stuff.
He balled out.
He got there. You talk about speed. He had it too. Tell me about this Jaguars defense, specifically the secondary. What's the challenge there for you guys?
It's a great defensive, unit again this week. They've been playing well, and I feel like it's a great opportunity for us to go out as a division team, go out and have fun, man, just compete. And then, we got to start fast, finish fast, for sure.
Yeah, and it's the first division game that's on the road.
Yeah.
What's that mean for you when you guys go on the road against somebody that you're playing two times a year?
It's important, man. It's a way. You can go on their home, they have home field advantage. And I feel like we just got to be sharp mentally, man. Just come out fast and trust the game plan and go out and just do what we do.
What do you eat the night before a game? Anything in particular?
Normally pasta.
Pasta? Okay.
Alfredo, yeah. The chicken, shrimp. It's kind of good.
All right.
Yeah, wings too, maybe.
Well, let's finish with the finish question. How do you guys, as a team, finish better than you have through the first four?
Man, we just got to just finish, man. We got to come out fast. And in the way, feel like the way we played in the second half, as we behind, that's the way we got to come out every time. We got to play like we, losing. So it's not a great feeling to lose, man. So hopefully we not gonna get that feeling again. But the key to that, man, is continue to work and continue to trust the game plan and preparation for sure.
Good stuff, Nico Collins. Best of luck against the Jaguars and in the season
Thanks
to
for
come.
having me.
Okay, I'm standing by. There he is, Nico Collins, warming up there, and hopefully he has another big game. Quietly put up over 200 receiving yards through these first four games. Still looking for his first touchdown. I feel like it's coming, Cecil. I feel like it's coming soon.
It is coming.
All right, well, he'll have a chance in today's game. Let's take a look at your starting lineups on offense against the Jaguars. Davis Mills, Dameon Pierce, Troy Hairston. No big surprises there, which is nice to see, right, with the starting five, especially on your O-line, which is something we saw a lot of movement on in previous years. So there's your starting lineups. And let's take a look at starting lineups for defense. Rasheem Green, Roy Lopez, Malik Collins, Jerry Hughes. No John Grenard. There's your linebackers group, and then your secondary stays the same. So you do have Mario Addison. He's not in the starting lineup. That could change, obviously, as the game goes on. So there's your starting lineups for today against the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, Cecil, here is the point of the game where we talk about our Sleeper of the Pick presented by Mattress Firm. I'll let you go first.
Ooh, so we just showed him on the screen.
Okay.
And every week, Nico Collins has improved his, statistic-wise, right?
Yes.
So I think week 3, he had 40-something yards. Week 2, maybe 40-something yards. Week 3, 60. Last week, over 80 yards and caught a big or almost a touchdown, a big post route down the field.
Huge, right before the Cooks touchdown.
Yes,
yeah.
And you see the confidence brewing in him. You see him hey, I want the ball more. You can see it on the field. Maybe just a receiver, from one receiver to another receiver, I just see it he just needs the ball. He should be a magnet, right? So I'm excited to see him continue to ascend, I'm hoping. And I think today is going to be a big game for him.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. And I like that your receiver picking another receiver. That's solid. That's always solid. I'm going to go Jerry Hughes just because I feel like he was on a path, on a tear to break a sack record. Did not do that last week. This pass rush was very quiet last week against Justin Herbert. So I feel like with Mario Addison in the lineup, maybe that'll allow Jerry Hughes to make some big plays and get back on his sack roll that he was on.
There it is.
All right. Well, now, Cecil, this is something that you and I don't get to do very often. We do it off the camera, but you were looking at the guys on the field a little bit earlier. They were dressed up for their game day fits. And so let's take a look at some game day fits, because Cecil and I, we comment on this off camera.
Yes.
There's
Okay,
Davis Mills.
I like it.
Very businesslike.
Businesslike, quarterback look, but a little swag. I like it. Showing the socks a little bit, tennis shoes.
Okay, wide receiver to wide receiver. Brandon Cooks goes no tie, t-shirt, blazer.
I like
the
that.
matching
Little
luggage.
swag. Yes, the matching
Okay,
luggage
Derek
is
Stingley
everything.
with the plaid pants. I'm all here for this. I like to rock some plaid pants to work every now and then.
I love the fall colors. The dark green, the gold. I love it.
Yeah,
I love
like
it. Stingley gets an A. That's
Stingley,
really good.
the name of
He
Cecil
gets
from
an
the
A.
fall colors. All right, and who is this? Jonathan Owens. I actually
Okay.
told J.O., I said, you're bringing it with the fashion.
Okay. I
Very
like the suit.
crisp, clean.
Yes, very clean. A lot of luggage though. He has 3 bags.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It might be a recovery thing.
All right, well,
He has
Jalen
right on.
Petrie goes dark blue. He's going
Dark
like
blue.
winter colors. He's
I need a rookie
blue on
to-
blue action.
DP, I need a rookie to step up now. He's playing well in the field, but off the field, I need him to look give me a little more something.
Maybe he
little
could borrow
more.
Derek's plaid pants. Maybe he's got some plaid pants and
There
like
he
a
is.
blue heel.
There it is. There it is.
I know. I like it. I like game day fit. So I'd like to have a little fun with you. That's going to do it. We've got kickoff in just about 37 minutes. You can catch it on CBS, also Sports Radio 610, and of course, HoustonTexans.com. We're going to have all the coverage during the game and after the game, post-game presser. Cecil, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining
Always.
me. You've been killing it at the home games.
Oh,
actually.
thank
If you come
you.
to a home game,
Thank you. It's a lot of fun.
it's a lot of fun. Next one's a few weeks away against the Titans. Get your tickets, HoustonTexans.com/tickets. This guy's giving out like millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Not me, but yeah.
Personally, it's out of his pocket. He's giving it away. That's what I'm going to say. Anyway, he's a lot of fun to catch it. It's been a lot of fun with you. Have yourselves a great game day. And as always, go Texans.